we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
Other trend that's happening, which is the growth of smartphones. So increasingly, even the poorest people in the world have access to the internet and smartphones, and they can now have a bank in their pocket. That's really the opportunity. That's the secret that Coinbase is founded on, the belief that right now, at this moment in history, because cryptocurrency got invented and everybody in the world can have access to a smartphone, we can inject economic freedom really into all these countries around the world.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that everything is planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Remember, those books are mandatory because they show you how the world really works. Also, those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon, much love, keep it coming. And then also those who are shopping at both stores, much love, keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first. We had a little pullback, but guys, we know CME opens up tonight. So we know that actually moves the market. Now, of course, we had Ethereum's options expire, so we know why we received a pullback, but we definitely are going to move up. Remember, guys, all this is manipulated. When Bitcoin moves down, the rest of the markets moves down, of course, Ethereum also. Now, what bright spot that we have Cardano, XRP, and XLM are actually moving up while the rest of the actual cryptos are taking a little hit. Now, this says that XLM hits all-time highs, but XLM all-time high, I think was January of 2018. It was about 93, 94 cents, if I'm not mistaken. So it hasn't hit an all-time high yet. But guys, we know when it comes to Cardano, they're working with AGI. I put the article in my Patreon, so therefore you can keep yourself up to date. If you are the owner of AGI, you should have received an email. Make sure you go check that. But guys, do not forget Ben Gertzel. He's working on the actual machine learning. This is what the fourth industrial revolution is about. He's working on the biggest project for the fourth industrial revolution. Remember, guys, they're trying to bring in the robots, the drones, the algorithms, and he's going to be building this on Ethereum and Cardano. So therefore, they're going to be interoperable, and we know how important that is. Also, when you're talking about interoperable, basically you're looking at XRP and XLM. Remember, their job is just a protocol to move all these assets around. But when it comes to Ben Gertzel, he's doing something that nobody else is doing. So guys, please go check out my Society 5.0 videos. Remember, that whole plan was done in San Francisco, and they're testing it in Asia. Remember, Asia is going to be where the fourth industrial revolution takes off. Now, remember, guys, we have until 2025 for the fourth industrial revolution to be fully in America. But over in Asia, they've been started. So remember, China, that rise of China, the Belt and Road Project, please do your research. And then when you do your research, then you can center these cryptocurrencies and it all makes sense. So therefore, you know that 1% that's actually going to make it. Now, guys, do not forget, just like I stated, CME opens up tonight. We know it's going to swing the markets. Do not let this scare you when we have pullbacks. Do your research. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. But make sure you're paying attention to the indicators. But go and find those utilities that take that hit. You know they're coming right back because they have utility. Yes, we're in a speculation phase. Now, when it comes to the bear market, like I stated, end of June, early July, once that bear market starts, then yes, you want to take on a different strategy. But right now, we're still in that speculation phase. Fed is still pumping the money. But we know that pulled back with Janet Yellen's general fund. We know that the actual inflation, yields are going to start rising. So that's going to take a bite out of crypto profits and stocks. But remember, they printed all this money to build the fourth industrial revolution, not to pump your crypto. I know you want to be selfish at this point, but no, guys, they're building this new economy. I've done plenty of videos in the World Economic Forum. This is the Great Reset. This is the greatest transfer of wealth in history. We hear Brian Armstrong. These cell phones, your cell phone is your bank. DeFi is the new banking. That's why XRP and XLM are not going anywhere, because they're the protocols that can move all this money at the speed of light. Now, we know Fed is going to work on their own project. We know the private blockchains because we know these big banks don't want us seeing everything. We understand this. But definitely, guys, get yourself in position. Educate your friends and family. But do not forget about the indicators, guys. We have volume, Tether, USDC. We know about the Fed's $50 billion. Also, guys, when it comes to Grayscale, it's very important, their assets, because they manipulate the market. We know that Grayscale Trust has been closed, but we know that lockup period ends anyway, the end of June, early July. Also, guys, over these next 2 weeks is going to be very volatile. We have BAC and we have CME. Like I stated, I don't see a big pullback from BAC, but I do see us dipping a little just because we've already taken dips. But CME, I definitely see us taking a big dip on the 28th. Remember, BAC is on the 20th. CME is on the 28th. Of course, I'm going to go over that when we get closer to the actual dates. Now, getting over just to a little crypto news, guys. We have corporate accounts accounting for about 27% of crypto trading volume in Q1 in 2021. This Genesis reporting. 2 quarters earlier, that was 0. But guys, we know the institutions are going to come in. We know this is the plan. Remember, the C word was the crisis that they needed to do the paradigm shift. Don't look at the C word. The C word was a distraction. Look at all the technology that came behind it. That will open your friends' minds up. Go point to all the technology that they saw. Zoom just didn't happen to pop up and everybody to be able to be on a conference call, all the kids still in class. Zoom was already 10 years old. It was already prepared. They already had the steps in line, so therefore you didn't notice. You were looking at the distraction, but they were moving in the technology, the fourth industrial revolution. And then lastly, guys, we have whale wallets shrinking down to 16% since February. But guys, we know the Fed is controlling all of this. We know the big banks, guys, the central banks control all of it. That's the reason why when you see these Ripple lawsuits, it's all just a movie, guys. We see Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse around the central bankers. But we know at the end of the day, private blockchain is going to be used by these central banks. Bitcoin, anybody that can see all your transactions, that's for the people because they want to be able to see everything. Same way when you're using credit cards. They know everything that you purchase. The reason why they want to know that because they're going to be able to tax everything. You go to your barber, you go to your restaurant that only accepts cash, no more. All your privacy is out the window. And then plus, they'll be able to airdrop free money. Like Brian Armstrong stated in the video, guys, these cell phones are going to allow them to boost the economy. Do not forget what David said from R3. We can boost economies by sending cryptocurrency, and they only get 3 to 6 months to spend that money, or poof, it's gone. Because remember, guys, when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Also, if you're new to cryptos, Coinbase, BitChute, Binance, do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. Also, the Crypto Teacher stock channel. Do not forget, you have your Cobalt, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, you got their own stocks, the Zebra, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home getting free money and waiting on that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and y'all have a wonderful day.
Is that we can actually change bend this curve and materially change the economic freedom of the entire world by what we're going to build. And that's what we're going to talk about next. So that's really the vision for Coinbase is creating more economic freedom for every person and business in the world over the next 10 years. All right, so what are we going to do to actually make that happen? Well, what we're going to do is create what we call the open financial system, which just means that we're going to use cryptocurrency and the smartphone revolution, things like that, to actually inject economic freedom into these countries all over the world. And it might not be immediately obvious to people. I know it wasn't for me. Why does cryptocurrency actually enable more economic freedom in the world? And if you go back to those things I mentioned at the beginning, some of the things that economic freedom measures, if you look at property rights, well, cryptocurrency actually is a great way to give people wealth that can't be taken away from them. There's user-controlled wallets, even these things called brain wallets, and even if you use the hosted wallets on Coinbase, oftentimes people still have much better property rights than they do in their home countries. In terms of free trade, well, cryptocurrency is inherently global. It works everywhere in the world. In terms of easier ways to start a business, cryptocurrency is democratizing the way that companies raise money, and you can accept payments globally from day one. Cryptocurrency is now even help fight inflation. So stable coins are being sent into places like Venezuela. And people are able to start the companies that they want to start and work at them with smart contracts. Even corruption is being affected by cryptocurrency because there's also organizations where you want to have the entire thing be done out in the open, a public ledger, so that anybody can audit it to see where every payment's going.